Hello and welcome to Rooted Life Health. My name is Jessica Garrity. I am a registered dietitian and mindset coach. In this video series, we have been learning how to balance blood sugar by how we eat. And in this specific video, we are going to look at how eating foods in a specific order can help further support healthy blood sugar control. So let's get started. When you eat foods in a certain order, you can eat in a way that continues to support healthy blood sugar. The goal is to prevent blood sugar spikes after meals. Now, your blood sugar will naturally rise after you eat food, specifically after you eat foods that have carbohydrates. And that is totally normal, healthy, and good. And there is no concern there if we learn how to eat in a way that supports blood sugar control. And one of the things that you can do to support blood sugar control is to eat your vegetables first. The fiber in the vegetables slows down the absorption of blood sugar. Basically, you eat the food, you eat the vegetable, and it goes into your gut, and all the fiber in the gut turns into this mesh. And this takes time to digest and absorb. And if you follow eating the vegetable with a carbohydrate, like bread or pasta or potatoes or rice, that food gets digested after you eat the vegetable, and so it prevents the absorption of the blood sugar from the pasta or the rice. Some non-starchy vegetables that you can choose to eat first include cabbage, Brussels sprouts, dark leafy greens, squash, asparagus, collard greens, tomato, bell peppers, carrots. Really, the only vegetables that I don't necessarily put on this list are the really starchy vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes. I count those as my carb in the meal. And even though some vegetables like carrots and even beets have higher sugar, they still have quite a bit of fiber in them, and I would still count those, especially if you're having something like pickled beets. And we're going to get into this. The vinegar in the pickling process actually contains an enzyme called acetate acid, and that actually also further inhibits the body's ability to break down, absorb, and digest all of the carbohydrate and turn it into blood sugar. So in that way, you could enjoy these foods. Now, so vegetables also can do this. It kind of can inhibit the complete digestion of the carbohydrate, and it can be very wonderful in supporting blood sugar control. And one of the bonus tips that I encourage people to do is to have a vegetable appetizer. You can have this in replacement of your main vegetable, or you can have it in addition to the vegetable you have at dinner. The more fiber you have before the meal, the more bulking of the fiber. You're not going to feel as hungry. You might eat less of the other food, but really it's to support healthy blood sugar control. And you don't have to do all of the steps perfectly. These are just different strategies that you can use to support healthy blood sugar. And one of the things I do when I have vegetable appetizers is I will add vinegar to the appetizer, because vinegar has that enzyme that prevents blood sugar spikes, and it can be easily added into the appetizer. If you've ever seen this hack of drinking apple cider vinegar shots, apple cider vinegar has this enzyme that prevents blood sugar spikes, and that's why it's being recommended for weight loss, blood sugar control, people who have PCOS. And I find that is very health gimmicky. Most people don't like drinking vinegar. It really doesn't taste good, and it burns your throat, and it's kind of aggressive approach. Instead, I find that this is just a much more natural way that people have been adding vinegar into their diet. Like sauerkraut and pickled vegetables have vinegar. Vinegar roasted vegetables taste really good. I personally enjoy having fresh vegetables chopped up with a balsamic vinaigrette, or a red wine vinaigrette and an olive oil tastes really good. Carrot cider with apple cider vinegar and olive oil is also another great idea, and that is also trending for like hormone health and estrogen detoxing. So that's a great idea. One of my most common go-to ways that I find the easiest is just to have a salad. So I'll have a dark leafy salad with arugula, which is my favorite vegetable. Well, it's not my favorite vegetable, but it's definitely my favorite green. And I will just have it with either balsamic vinegar and olive oil, or I'll make like a little homemade vinaigrette with red wine. Red wine vinegar and olive oil. And that's really easy that you can have before meals. Now, the second step is to have your protein second. And we are just like continuing this process that protein is also going to kind of slow down your body's digestion and absorption of the meal, and it's going to have to be digested before you have the carbohydrate. So the order in which you eat the food is the order in which the food will be digested. So if you eat protein second, proteins typically don't have any carbohydrates in them. Animal proteins and fish protein does not have carbs in them. Vegetable proteins like beans and lentils, quinoa, nuts, and seeds, they do. And that's no problem. You can have carbohydrates with your protein source. But when you're eating these high protein foods, this is going to be digested next, and it's going to help slow down. It's going to help slow down your digestion of the carbohydrate and prevent a sharp spike in blood sugar. So protein sources include fish, such as salmon, redfish, and trout, poultry like turkey and chicken, and red meat, including beef, venison, lamb, and bison. And of course, you can have vegetarian proteins like beans, lentils, quinoa, nuts, and seeds. Now, the last step is to eat your carbohydrates last. And this is just because you want to be eating the protein and the fiber before you eat the carbohydrate. And what I find interesting is complex carbohydrates such as beans, lentils, oats, farro, barley, and quinoa, and even whole grain brown rice have more fiber, and the fiber in these carbohydrates prevents the blood sugar from spiking as much, and it also makes it be a more sustainable energy source, because if your blood sugar is spiking over a longer lasting period of time, it's going to keep you full for longer. And so these are great options to include and add into your diet. One thing to add, if I can remember, is just, if you're eating a sandwich, this is okay. Like, you can have a salad with some vinaigrette on it, and then have your sandwich. That is going to really, really help just doing that one step. You don't have to pick apart your sandwich to eat it in this perfect way. These are just strategies. For example, sometimes I like eating all my food mixed together, so I really like doing the vegetable first, or what I'll do is I'll just have a couple bites of my vegetable and then a couple bites of my protein, and then I eat my whole meal, and I'll have as much of the potatoes as I want, and I'll eat however I feel. For the people who like to eat in order already, they're already doing that, where they eat one food group, then they eat another food group. This is very easy. But for people like me, where I like to mix everything together, you can just have some a vegetable appetizer and then your meal. So there are a lot of different strategies that you can use to support your blood sugar. And just by making sure that your bread has some healthy, thick amount of protein on it, like turkey or whatever, even that is going to help prevent your blood sugar from spiking as much than just having a bagel with butter on it. So I hope that you found this video helpful, and please share it with any of your friends, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video in this series.